thing that really bothers me about all these people, car insurance, credit card, landlords, fucking everybody, the utility company, the water company, they all speak to you as though you are voluntarily doing this, as though they are doing you a favor. I don't want to pay for any of this shit. I don't want to do any of this. I didn't ask to do any of this at all. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even have to be fucking alive. I have to. For some fucking reason, because for some fucking reason, in order to be alive, you have to pay 20 different people $200, and you have to keep reciting random digits of numbers. Everything about being alive is just fucking numbers over and over again. Important numbers for this, important numbers for that. You gotta type in this password, you gotta type in this number, you gotta type in this thing, and if you get it wrong, you're gonna go to jail.
Because there's no empathy. All of it is a business in this fucking world. That's exactly why I sold everything. Sold my house, sold my cars, sold 95% of my properties, just sold everything, because I'm not doing this shit with y'all. Hell fucking no. Bitch, I am here to heal my soul. I'm here to learn what I need to learn so I can move the hell on to the next realm of being. There's nothing in this place that is worth all that stress. None. And it's the fake smiles, the fake hellos. Like, yeah, give a fuck. No, the fuck you don't give a fuck. There's a reason why Jesus told that one man in the Bible, if you want to make it to heaven, go and sell everything. And he goes to Jesus. Can you imagine that? Because he knew that he's not ready to let go of the things of this world. There's a reason why the Bible says you cannot serve God and money at the same time. Because God is love. It is impossible for you to serve love, unconditional love, by the way, which the people of this world have no idea what that is. People of this world don't know what empathy is, because empathy has no polarity whatsoever. Once you love someone, it's impossible for you to stop loving someone. What people of this world call love has an expiration, has a polarity. The opposite of that love is shame. There's a reason why the Bible said that it's easier for a big ass camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to make it to heaven. There's a reason why Jesus said, take my yoke, mine is light and yours is heavy. I don't want it again. I sold every fucking thing. I'm good, chair. Y'all think I'm joking when I say I'm just waiting for this fucking rapture. And at this point in my life, the only thing that I'm actually genuinely interested in is family, like real family. People who truly understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
In America right now, it feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury, rent is robbery, healthcare is a joke, and somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick, you can't afford to rest, you can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy is strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians trade stocks, and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity, we got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a 1-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough, when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line. This isn't a country full of lazy people. It's a country full of exhausted ones. Simple as that.
I don't think a lot of people want to quit their jobs because we're lazy or because they're lazy. I really just think that waiting, like, it gives modern day slavery. You know what I'm saying? We wait in 2 weeks for a check. Half of us, once we get that check, literally already know where the check is going. It's a miserable feeling. You working hard every week, and when you get paid, before you even get paid, you know where your check going. You know where your check gonna go a month, 2 months, 3 months in advance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bills type shit. So I think a lot of people just don't want other options that's making them more money, because it's like you working a job, you waiting on your check. When you get your check, it's gone, or you don't even have enough. Not to mention you working so much you barely have time for yourself to spend money on other things, for your kids, for family. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like I'm giving my all to a job that's not really benefiting me. Like, then it's like a catch-22 a little bit, because you can't like quit your job to go and venture out to find other things that'll help make you more money consistently, because then what's gonna pay your bills? So you have to continue to show up to this job that you probably don't want to be at. Meanwhile, on that job, tired, drained, miserable, aggravated, still trying to figure out a way to increase your income consistently so that you can quit that job, which is also difficult as fuck and draining as fuck. So yeah,
telling me there's no generational wealth. Oh my days, you know how much generations it took for me to be here today? And no one left, not even a single pound. You're telling me from the whole bloodline, no one decided to like do something generational for the guys. I just gotta figure this shit out on my own. Not even a property, nothing. Absolutely niche. What the hell? I'll be real, it's actually a joke thing. No one did anything. And now they're trying to leave it to me or something. So you're telling me there's no generation.
Hey, bro, that's a fact, bro. What the fuck were you up there, bro?
We have is a last name, that's it.
Hey,
We have is one last name.
Got one life. You can't, it ain't no redos. Nigga, this shit don't last 1,000 years. Most niggas live to what, 60, 70? That ain't a long time if you really think about it. Then, by the time you start getting money and enjoying life, nigga, you done already lived 20% of your life. Then another 40% of your life, nigga, you gonna be old, so you ain't gonna really be able to do a lot of shit. So what do you really only get 40% of life to really just live and have fun for real, if you really think about it. Cause you gotta calculate the half of your life that you sleep. So if you 70, I ain't even gonna say half, cause don't nobody sleep 12 hours. But nigga, if you live to be 70, at least 25 of them years your ass sleep. So you really only living to be what, 45? That's you're alive. 10 of them years you a child, so 35. Then you gotta think about the broke years where you really don't get to move around and really be who you are for real, because you don't got the funds. So that's another 5-10 years. So nigga, you really only got a real 20 years to really live your life for real, if you think about it. So all that bullshit don't really be worth it at the end of the day. None of it. Any beef that exists ain't worth it. Any feud, any fucking relationship that was like y'all broke up over some bullshit, that shit wasn't worth it. Any fucking decision you made over some bullshit, that wasn't worth it. You get what I'm saying? Like not doing certain things because of this and because of that shit ain't worth it.
Islam, shalom, hola, aloha, bonjour, osio, assalamu alaikum, konnichiwa. This your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell down below so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping some new content. Leave a comment, interact with me. Thank you, I really do appreciate your viewership. Let's jump into another one. And special thanks to like the 4 subs that are always watching my content. I really do appreciate that watch time. Jump into another one. Hopefully you enjoyed those clips at the beginning, and I'm gonna show some at the end to help drive my point home. All right, so back at it again. Frog in a boiling pot, you know what it is. The environment is constantly heating up for us, you know. Stuff is not getting any easier. People are starting to notice, more and more people are starting to notice that the climate, the environment, things are heating up, right? So I wanted to bring some awareness to this because, like I said, people are starting to notice. Like, things are starting to get tight. And it's like, it's becoming so normal that people are just like flexing on how hard they can work. Or better yet, how hard they can slave. Like, competing on who can be the best slave. Honestly, like, you need a side gig. Well, first, you need a job. Then you need a side gig. You need an extra job. You need a weekend hustle. You know what I'm saying? You need passive income. You need active income. It's like, what's really going on here? Because in days past, the elders used to be able to get by on one job. You know what I'm saying? One person in the household working and supporting everybody, being able to pay for food, insurance, grocery, like food, insurance, putting children through college, you know, being able to own a home, right? But now people are flexing and they can't even afford their basic needs, you know, like the food insecurities are still wild because people are only getting like half payments for like EBT and stuff like that. The government is like partially shut down, so it's still like a partial close, partial open, or whatever that might be. But this is really, really concerning because it's like, how much can you work? Like, how much time do you have to sacrifice in order just to make ends meet? You know what I'm saying?
wage slaving, that's not the way, fam. Trading your time for some kind of finance, some kind of payoff. You know what I'm saying? Time is limited. We only have a limited amount of that, and who knows how long we actually have. We're just trading our time for these fiat debt notes, and we're not even really getting and they're not even holding their value. So we're constantly getting the short end of the stick here. It was one thing. It's like a flex for how hard you can work, how many jobs you have, how much you can slave. You know, I got this many jobs. Oh, you're not working hard enough. Come on, man. It's like people are really starting to give up on the future. When I say people, I'm talking about the youth. You know what I'm saying? People who are younger than I am, because I'm still pretty young, but it's people who are younger than I am, and they don't see anything for the future. People just want money. They need money. They need finance. They need to survive. And if people can't see a way out, if people can't see themselves becoming incredibly wealthy, like people aren't even thinking about building families. People aren't thinking about getting married, you know? So it kind of all boils down to being able to make ends meet, you know, being able to support yourself individually. And then if you have an abundance, then you can make a family. But it's like people are working 40 plus hours a week and they're bragging about it. And some people are stressing about it. And it doesn't seem to be enough. You still seem to have to do more. You still seem to have to burn the candle at both ends, right? When did all this become normal? You know what I'm saying? That's a real question. When did all this become normal? I've spoke about this before on previous videos when I was talking about the new normal, what all happened after the pandemic, right? We all just kind of like just got lulled into this state of existence, honestly. Let me know how I'm doing down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. You know they're always trying to silence voices like mine. I really do appreciate your viewership. Peace.
New York Times has interviewed 3 Yale professors who decided to flee the United States. All 3 of them study, teach, specialize for decades in the rise of oppressive regimes throughout world history. One of the women in particular, she studies totalitarianism, and she has for years. And when they were like, why are you leaving the United States? She said, the lesson from 1933 is you get out sooner rather than later. And she was like, when Trump was reelected and a lot of my colleagues started to panic, they were trying to calm themselves down, saying, we have checks and balances, we're fine, checks and balances. And she said, it feels like the Titanic. It feels like we're all saying, like, you know, the ship is unsinkable. And she's like, as a historian, all of my work always tells me there is no such thing as a ship that is unsinkable. Truly, like, we have the fight of our lives over the next, like, 20 or 30 years. People just have to be aware of it. Because it's not good right now. It's not good.
At what point are we supposed to, like, fight and not, like, protest, but...
After you set up the infrastructure. Until then, you delay the battle. Supply lines, food, intelligence, communication, figure out who's actually going to be shooters, then figure out what kind of fight you're in. You're already in a psychochemical war, a psychological war, and an economic war. Until you have the means to sustain a prolonged battle, delay. You're not actively feeding the beast that's destroying you. When you have a parallel system to sustain the people that you're about to kick off the old one. When you're not dependent on the people you're about to fight. Right now you're supposed to be creating networks, planting food. If you create a power vacuum right now, 1/2 of the country will eat the other half. Create something to fill the void first. Until then, commit to asynchronous warfare. No face, no case.